So this video is actually for people who have not watched One Piece, but I also think people who have watched One Piece can enjoy this video too. If you're scared of starting to watch One Piece because it's too long or because it might be boring, then this video is for you. So just take your snacks and enjoy this video. By the way, this video includes spoilers from the very first episode of the One Piece anime. Years ago, there was a man named Gold D. Roger, the Pirate King, who had wealth, fame, and power. At his execution, someone in the crowd asked him where his treasure was. Roger, who had everything in the world, said he left his treasure in the place called the Grand Line. From that day on, people across the world set sail to become pirates, chasing the dream of finding that treasure. That treasure left in the Grand Line by the Pirate King Roger is called the One Piece. So, our main character Luffy is a 17-year-old boy who dreams of finding the One Piece and becoming the Pirate King. Of course, he has to find the crew first. Luffy's first encounter is with the pirate Alvida. He rescues a boy named Koby who was forced to work like a slave under Alvida. During the fight with Alvida, we see that Luffy's body is different. It's made of rubber. This is because he ate a special fruit called the devil fruit. In the world of One Piece, there are devil fruits that gives you special abilities when you eat them. After defeating Alvida and saving Koby, the two search for a swordmaster named the pirate hunter Zoro. Luffy has heard rumors about how strong he is and wants to recruit him for his crew. So I told you the story of the first episode very shortly. When you watch it, you will see much more. After this, you will see the story of him trying to find the One Piece. And now, let's dive deep and ask the question, why is One Piece so good? Yeah, like, where should I even begin? First, we have to mention the genres of this anime. There is action, comedy, drama, fantasy, adventure, mystery, piracy, road story, and exploration. It is so diverse and rich in its themes that after watching One Piece, other shows, movies, or anime won't be satisfying. The main character Luffy isn't the only focus. It's always about a group of characters. Especially sometimes in long series, you start to feel like the characters are your friends. I will call this character attachment. In terms of character attachment, One Piece might be the best anime. Why? Because it is especially built for it. For over 25 years and more than 1,000 episodes, a group of friends has been traveling on a pirate ship, having amazing adventures. They are always moving forward, never backward. You cannot compare this level of character attachment with any other series. The characters are well written, they have deep backstories and deep emotions, and every character has its own ambition. And even the ship itself starts to feel like your friend on the journey. There is a special bond formed and it's maintained beautifully throughout the anime. And not only that, in One Piece the characters are very diverse and unique. I'm not just talking about their personalities. There are so many different characters of different races and of different professions. For example, personality-wise, you have characters who are funny, serious, cowardly, brave, intelligent, foolish, perverted, indifferent, or deceitful. In terms of race, there are humans, fishmen, half reindeer, cyborgs, giants, and even skeletons walking around. Professionally, there are engineers, snipers, doctors, archaeologists, navigators, chefs, musicians, swordmen, and even a thief. And these characters feel like real, because none of them are perfect. They value and trust each other. They are all kind-hearted individuals. Their bond is what holds the story together. Unlike many other shows, One Piece doesn't have overly dark or brooding characters or unnecessary romantic stuff within the crew. The focus is always on friendship and the adventure. By the way, the friendships don't happen overnight either. They develop slowly by sharing some challenges and life-threatening situations. Early on, everyone prioritizes their own dreams, but as the series progresses, they start to build a bond and prioritize Luffy's dream. This character attachment is one of the main reasons why One Piece is so special. For example, in the episode 1000, there is an iconic scene where the entire crew, stands together in a unified pose. There are so many epic moments like this that hype you up. And lastly, one of the strongest aspects of One Piece is its storyline. It's different from the other shonen anime. The creator Ichiro Oda is such an incredible mangaka, like he plans everything very carefully. The story is very deep and consistent. When you watch it, you will also see that so many small details are actually a big thing. Like a small detail in the 100th episode can be a little hint to something in the episode 500. You will ask yourself, did Eiichiro Oda really plan this 500 episodes ago? Let me explain a little bit more in detail. Every season takes place in a different island, and every season tells a different story, yet they are all connected. Don't ask me how it works. Eiichiro Oda somehow connects all of these stories. And by the way, every story told in this series is excellent. I'm not saying that because they are connected. Even if these stories were not connected, they are individually really good stories. And when all of these amazing stories connect together, they make an amazing story. And not only the ongoing stories, also the backstories are really good. Whenever you see a flashback in One Piece, be ready, because you will be told a great story. And these stories are mostly very emotional. The world building is also really good. Most other anime create a world just to support their story. Like the world exists just for the story and the main character, and it doesn't feel alive. But the One Piece universe is completely different. It is as if the world was created first, the different countries, the different rules, and the different systems are all set, and then on top of that there was a story written, and the story and world really fits together. That's why the story has maintained its consistency for 25 years. And the world itself is so rich. It's like Eiichiro Oda created a really rich fantasy world which is really consistent. And the world itself makes sense. It's like a real world with its own rules. So let's talk about the stories for short. One Piece is an anime who goes slowly. Like you shouldn't be watching One Piece only for good fights or like epic battles and stuff. You should enjoy the world building, because One Piece does not want to hype you up and stuff. There are too many hyping moments, but One Piece is more about the story and getting into the world, so you have to put some effort to follow the world and the story. There are basically 3 types of stories going on together. On level 1, there is the current plot centered on the characters, like basically every character has its own story. And then on top of that there is the story specific to the location, basically to the island they are. So every season you will see a different story of a different island. And finally, on the very top there is a big mystery, there is a big story told in the world. Basically a big mysterious story going on in the world. If you don't pay close attention, you might miss something. How much you follow up is up to you. Basically, the mix of these 3 story layers make the story great. And some people criticize for One Piece being slow. They say that some episodes feel like filler. I strongly disagree. As I said, you shouldn't be watching One Piece for only action and fights. You have to understand that One Piece tries to build a world and it tries to tell you a nice story. Every season One Piece introduces you to a new island, to new people, to new settings, to new details, to a new story basically. And in every island there are different people, different cultures, different races, different technologies, different traditions, different dishes, different currency, a different climate, and things like that. And all of these details make this fantasy world very good. The good fights and battles are mostly in the second part of every season. Some people just watch for the battles and find everything else unnecessary. I wouldn't recommend you this anime if you're one of those people, because One Piece is much more than that. The mysteries in One Piece are legendary. They keep you hooked and curious. And because the world and its narrative is so consistent, lots of people can speculate and write some theories. That's why One Piece theories are so popular. Because the world is making so much sense, you can basically guess some mysteries. You cannot see that kind of thing in other animes, because in other animes like Naruto, Bleach or Jujutsu Kaisen, anything can happen. The main character can get a random power-up, so the story is not consistent. But in One Piece, the world is very consistent and everything makes sense. So people think like, hey, if I put my mind into it, I can figure this out. To those mysteries, I want to give you an example. There is a character called Shanks. It's the character in my channel profile picture. This character was introduced very early, but has maintained its mystery for 24 years. Basically, we had to wait for 1,000+ episodes to see his power. And this level of patience is crazy. There are so many very important, mysterious characters that we don't know much about. Except that, One Piece is also about lots of social issues and real-life references. There are so many stories about real-life topics like racism, sexism, fascism, transphobia, class discrimination, slavery, human trafficking, corruption, and civil war. And it just doesn't touch on them lightly, it really dives deep. Entire arcs are dedicated to these topics. And what's impressive is these themes are not added randomly. They have been a part of the story from the beginning. And there are also lots of different real-life references. There are also so many references to real-life countries like Egypt, Spain, or Japan. And the names of the people or the culture of different islands are also references to real-world pirates and mythologies. Lastly, while the animation quality was rough in the early episodes, it really improves over time. The art style grows as you watch. And by the way, if you don't like the design, after giving it some time, you will appreciate the uniqueness and the different designs of the characters. Eiichiro Oda's drawing style is really absurd in many ways, but I think this is actually a positive aspect, because after a while, this different style starts to feel normal. Anything normal begins to seem strange. Let me give you an example. There are normal human, but there are also like human who are 3 meters tall. Like, what do you mean 3 meters tall? Are these guys a different race or something? No, they are just regular human who are 3 meters tall. By the way, there are also giants in this series. So my advice is, if you're going to watch One Piece, let it be the last anime you watch, because after One Piece, you won't be able to adapt to other series. I felt like after watching One Piece, other animes were not deep enough and their stories were not satisfying. In short, One Piece is filled with elements that go far beyond the reality. Like, guys, this is a show that gets better and better constantly in 25 years. No anime can do this. No anime can go up to 1,000+ episodes and still be relevant and still be cool and still be very famous and popular. Because even the best animes get boring after some time. When an anime gets good, they start to write new seasons and they start to extend these animes. But when they extend the animes, the story starts to make no sense. And this is an issue lots of anime has. After some time, they lose their excitement and hype, and they start to get boring, and they mostly end in a bad way. But One Piece gets better and better since more than 25 years. That's because there is a very consistent world that makes sense. By the way, I haven't talked about the music. One Piece doesn't have a single style. It is diverse in everything, including its soundtrack. There are so many cool character themes, location themes, and event themes. I still sometimes listen to these soundtracks. I can easily say that the music is very outstanding. So if you've never watched One Piece before and feel scared because it's 1,000 episodes, don't let that stop you. I'm telling you, you're missing out. At least just watch the first 40 episodes. If after watching the first 40 episodes you don't feel moved, excited, or even a little emotional, then maybe this anime is not for you. And that's fine. But trust me, if One Piece doesn't captivate you within the first 40 episodes, it probably won't later either. It probably never will. So when I have to rate One Piece, I think it's extremely difficult to be objective. It is a very special anime for me, and I can't be unbiased. While the One Piece has its flaws, there are the things that One Piece does perfect. Like, the strength of One Piece are so good, are like a genius level, that the weaknesses don't ruin the anime. And that's why I give One Piece a 10 out of 10. I think One Piece is something everyone should experience at least once in his lifetime. One Piece is already a global pop culture phenomenon, and I think its popularity will grow more and more. And even if One Piece comes to an end one day, I'm sure there will be other stories created in this world. So I hope we will always have something to watch about the world of One Piece until we die. So that's all from me in this video. Thank you for watching this video, and please like this video and also subscribe to my channel. Take care and see you in the next video.